The 2023 edition of WWE Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia is mere days away, and we have quite a few interesting matchups heading into this Saturday's big show. Pardon the wrestling, but I am Bryan, and today we preview Night of Champions and make our final predictions for each match announced as of this video. But before we get started, if this is your first time here, be sure to hit the subscribe button to add more wrestling content to your YouTube home screen. And if you could do us a favor, hit the like button as well, as that will help more of your fellow wrestling fans find this video. We head outside of the mainland United States for the second of 3 straight premium live events, and WWE is touting this as an event with a triple main event. Yes, you heard that right. Not sure why explicitly saying it has 3 main events is supposed to mean anything, but here we are. And yes, this is also a Night of Champions premium live event, which historically means every championship is defended. But we will see 2 titles go undefended. But alas, once again, here we are. The show is headlined by the aforementioned triple main event, featuring Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa challenging Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team championship. Also, Seth Rollins and AJ Styles will determine the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion, even though it'll resume the lineage of the original 2002 World Heavyweight Championship, and Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes will have the rematch from Backlash. But before we get to our triple main event, let's take it from the top, and that'll be GUNTHER defending his Intercontinental Championship against Mustafa Ali. Saturday will mark GUNTHER's 350th day as Intercontinental Champion, which would place him just about 100 days of the all-time record of Honky Tonk Man's 454-day reign. June 11th will mark 365 days for GUNTHER, which would make him only the 5th man to hold the title for over a year. If you've been checked out of WWE for some time and wonder how Ali got into this position, just a couple weeks ago on Raw, there was a battle royal to determine the next challenger for the title, and Ali won it after knocking out Ricochet and Bronson Reed. Listen, when Ali gets time to go in the ring, usually good things happen. He's good in the ring, but if you think Ali's going to be the one to knock GUNTHER off, you are sadly mistaken. In the words of Paul Heyman,
and that's not a prediction, that's a spoiler.
I'm hoping since we're in the mood for a new belt at Night of Champions this weekend, WWE has a surprise up their sleeve, and that is to introduce a rebranded version of not only Rhea's belt, but Bianca's belt at this show or very soon thereafter. Rhea is on Raw with the SmackDown Championship, and Bianca is on SmackDown with the Raw Championship. We just need these belts rebranded to the WWE Women's Championship and the Women's Universal Championship or something similar, so we don't have to do this every single draft. Now for the match at hand, Natalya came out to save Dana Brooke from the beating Rhea was giving her a couple weeks ago, and that is how we got here. If you're wondering why I haven't spent much time talking about this match, but more about the belts, just know I spent more time talking about this championship match than Natalya has for some reason. If you had trouble remembering this is a match that is taking place on Saturday, I wouldn't fault you because WWE has done a pretty shitty job at even acknowledging this match is even taking place. The only match result that would shock me harder than Ali winning is Natty winning, so Rhea's going to retain here. Of all the matches, this may be the hardest for me to decide. Listen, I like Bianca. She puts on terrific matches and is an incredible role model and maybe one of the top 5 freakiest athletes WWE currently has on the main roster. She's pretty damn good. But it's time to take the title off of her. I think the time to do that really was last month with Io Sky because it would have afforded the at the time teased breakup of Damage Control, and Io deserves to get her flowers on the main roster at some point, and the time just seemed to be right then just as it is now. Bianca has not dealt with much adversity since taking the title from Becky Lynch at WrestleMania last year. She beat Becky again at SummerSlam. She pretty much single-handedly took out Damage Control, and she's plain run out of challengers. You want proof? She literally went to a different brand, is having a WrestleMania rematch with Asuka already. Asuka just turned heel, and if we're going to make any of these heels not named Roman Reigns or GUNTHER mean anything, one of them needs to win already. That being said, Bianca Belair is going to retain because Hunter has not proven to me otherwise that he's ready to shake up the status quo on the women's side of the roster. Warning, we here at Pardon the Wrestling are huge Becky Lynch marks, which is why this prediction is going to sadden me for a couple reasons. The Attitude Era may have given us 30-somethings a great way to grow up, but if we truly look at wrestling during the Attitude Era and now, the talent absolutely bodies the Attitude Era, save for a couple here and there. If there's one thing we can say pretty confidently right now, it's that Becky Lynch is better than Trish Stratus ever was in every aspect of being a professional wrestler. I'm not saying Trish is bad by any means. In fact, Trish has always been properly cast as a heel, and I always look back on that dastardly heel turn at WrestleMania 20 with fondness when she sided with Christian over Chris Jericho. But just watching the promo exchange between Trish and Becky this past Monday on Raw, you could just see how much more confident Becky is and how much more believable she is in her role. And if you think I didn't pop at this line, you are sorely mistaken.
Welcome to the big time, bitch! Woof woof!
So why does this prediction sadden me? Well, it's opened my eyes to that previously mentioned proof that the Attitude Era may not be as good as I thought it was, but also because there's not a snowball's chance in hell that Becky wins this weekend. They are absolutely running this back at SummerSlam, and the only way to logically get there is having Trish cheating to win. First premium live event, the World Heavyweight Championship shows up and it is Night of Champions, and we are talking about it already? Well, this is how WWE orders the matches on their website, and this is next. By all accounts, this match should go on last for a couple of reasons. 1, to solidify its importance. 2, to guarantee a happy ending no matter what. And 3, because this is going to be a 3.5-star match minimum. Seth has been off of Raw Live the last couple of weeks due to filming for the new Captain America movie, and I'd like to take a quick aside to say congratulations to Seth for landing this huge role. But due to this venture into Hollywood, there have been rumors that WWE has been shuffling their feet on the idea of putting the title on Seth. I, for one, do not believe this at all. In fact, I think him being in Captain America will strengthen his chances at winning. When it comes time to promote that movie, and if Seth gets put on the media circuit, it'll sure look great having a huge WWE logo right next to him on Jimmy Fallon or wherever else he might show up. As for the build for this match, there really hasn't been one. It had a tournament that was decided in 1 week, and that's been essentially it. As for the winner, I truly think, or more so hope, that they'll stick to a Raw wrestler winning the Raw Championship. So with that being said, Seth Rollins becomes the first, or technically the 56th, World Heavyweight Champion. When rumors were going around that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were going to be going to Saudi Arabia to defend their tag team titles against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, I thought it was absolute bullshit. In fact, I didn't think it was happening at all. And then of course it gets announced later that day, so I looked stupid. Regardless, this is actually an interesting matchup, and uniquely one that the story would be fun no matter the outcome. Roman and Solo winning would be an incredibly interesting wrinkle in the Bloodline story, and Sami and KO winning would give them a huge win over the undisputed Universal Champion. Even though there is a next to zero chance that Roman takes the fall in this match. This match became possible when Heyman announced that he did some wheeling and dealing and got the Bloodline another shot at the tag titles, but it wouldn't be the Usos, but rather Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. This match for me is pretty easy to predict unless Hunter wants to really swerve us all, but it seems to be a lock that the Usos will inadvertently, or maybe deliberately, though I'm leaning heavily towards inadvertently, costing Roman and Solo this match to further fracture the Bloodline. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will retain the tag titles. And before we discuss the final match at Night of Champions, what do you think of our predictions so far? Do our thoughts align? Let me know in the comment section down below. And while you're there, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you've enjoyed our predictions for Night of Champions, hit the like button as well. And for the third and final main event of the show, it's Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I hate myself for not including 2 predictions during my 2023 predictions video. One was one I actually had on my initial script, and that was CM Punk having another falling out with AEW before the Collision announcement. Man, I would have looked really smart then. But my other prediction that didn't make the script was Cody being booed by the end of the year. This is a risky prediction, but just hear me out first. WWE is doing something incredibly weird with the booking of Cody Rhodes. For one, he should have won the title at WrestleMania. There's no convincing me otherwise. And for 2, they are booking a rerun of a legit injury angle they had last year with Cody. So why boo Cody? It'll all compound, including doing this injury angle. If you happen to have missed Raw earlier this week, here's what happened. The show kicked off with Brock smashing Cody's arm underneath the beer keg, and then later on in the show applying the Kimura lock to Cody. Throughout the night, Adam Pearce tried getting medical personnel to check in on Cody, but he kept refusing. Eventually, this led to an appearance at the end of the show by Triple H, and Triple H was trying to convince Cody to let doctors check on him. Triple H said that Cody is afraid that doctors are going to confirm his arm is broken and will disqualify him from competing at Night of Champions. Cody isn't going to let that happen and will face Brock at Night of Champions despite his arm. Cody's torn pectoral muscle last year at Hell in a Cell was such an unprecedented sight to behold, and the fact Cody and Seth Rollins put on an absolute classic despite that injury went a long way in solidifying Cody as the guy in WWE. But here we are almost a year later, and Cody is literally in the same spot, having an injury angle, albeit kayfabe this time, and Cody is not going to win this weekend. In fact, if Cody's arm is in kayfabe broken, he can't wrestle on TV after this match, right? He's going to need to sell that injury, right? And I'm going to assume he's probably going to hurt it further in the match. Otherwise, if Cody somehow wins this weekend and beats everyone else with one arm, we're going to slowly drift into Super Cena territory where beating Cody is impossible, and you have a case of what appears to be WWE shoving down yet another babyface as unbeatable. WWE, by booking Cody with a fake broken arm, may be one of the most baffling booking decisions in recent memory, because I can't see any path where this gets Cody over in the long run. Now look, I'm completely hypothesizing the situation that is likely not going to happen, but you see how quickly this can go from bad to worse, right? Bottom line, much like Becky and Trish, we are heading to SummerSlam with a match between these two, and WWE is going to take the logical route with this arm injury, hopefully, that they are giving Cody. Cody will lose this weekend and will be in a sling for the next few weeks, and I'm sure he'll try to win Money in the Bank with the less than 100% arm, and then Brock will come back to finish the job. Now someone take away my microphone before I continue to fantasy book the rest of the year for WWE. But that'll do it for our WWE Night of Champions predictions. How do you think we're going to do in the end? Sound off with your predictions down below, and also come back tomorrow night for our AEW Double or Nothing predictions after Dynamite. And also Friday, we'll be doing a live watch along for Impact Wrestling's Under Siege pay-per-view, so come hang out with us for that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button as well, as that is the easiest way to help others like you find this content. Lastly, we want to thank you for joining us, and we will catch you on the next one.